Hello, hello, hello. Okay, this is the Money Boss on Radio by Elsa 97.1. The program that helps you get to know uh, the relevant things you need to know about money so that you can have absolute control of your finances. Yes, my name is Rita Fabo, and today we're having not just the regular radio audience on the program, but we are also having a YouTube audience on the program. And if you want to see what is happening live in the studio, you can go to my YouTube channel right now and you will see me as I am in the studio. And at the Money Bus, at the Money Bus is my YouTube channel. Go there, and while you're there, please endeavor to like and share. You are free to comment, and most importantly, please do subscribe to my channel. Okay. That being said, today I'm in the studio by myself. I was supposed to have a guest who didn't turn up. Well, it's all good. We are going to do this. And today's topic is some persons might look at it and say, "What's is it not supposed? I mean, are you not supposed to be talking about money?" But it's still around money. Today we are looking at financial red flags in relationships. Financial red flags in relationship. Love is such a beautiful thing, a very, very beautiful thing. And when money is involved, is a different ball game altogether. And that's why we're bringing it up on this Money Boss program. Things can really get complicated. And today we are looking at um, financial red flags. Many times when we start out in relationships, we tend to ignore a whole lot of things because, like I have said, love is a very beautiful thing and everybody wants to be in love. I love love. I love being in love. And so when we are like that, we tend to turn a blind eye to many things, especially as it has to do with money. Many conversations are swept under the carpet, and this happens to be one of such conversations around money. So we are going to be looking at some red flags that are there and shouldn't be ignored when we are in a relationship. Well, today's topic is going to shake some tables a little bit. And it's also going to open your eyes for some persons that are very naive around these issues. It's going to open your eyes. But most importantly, it's going to save you for those that are not already in a relationship blindly. It's going to save you from making decisions that are going to cause you financial heartbreak. So that's what today's topic is basically about. Financial red flags that should not be ignored. As is our culture on the Money Boss, it gets to a time and then we open the phone line and have people call in. And when they do call in, it's expected that they will tell us their name as well as where they are calling from. And then they go right on to, if they have a question to ask, they ask a question. Otherwise, they say whatever it is they have to say in contribution to the topic. And today I want us to, be very engaging. I want you to be very engaging in today's discourse so that we'll get some experiences from you. Now, I want to ask you, have you ever been in a relationship where you have always been the one that is spending? You are like the ATM. No matter what happens, you you shoulder the whole responsibility. Have you ever been in such a relationship? Also, um, for those that are in very serious relationships like a marriage or maybe an engagement, do you even know what your partner earns as an income? Now, I'm not saying that you should go prying, as in trying to see every kobo that is coming in. I'm not saying that you go making it an issue that if I don't get to know how much you are earning, this is a no and all of that. No, there's a place for wisdom in all of these things. Like I know that of some persons somewhere along the line in my life where this has really become a problem. Even in my personal life, some time ago, I was in a relationship that was an issue. I remember the other party saying, I don't even know how much she earns, and that was the reason why we were having issues at that time. Now, have you ever been in that kind of relationship? You don't know, financially speaking, what the other person is worth, and the other person doesn't know what you're worth? Or have you had money conversations, only for them to turn to arguments? If you say yes to these questions, then I want to tell you that you want to listen to this um, conversation even to the end of it. Okay, so I'll now delve straight into some red flags. Some red flags. I've even said them in passing, some of them. And the first one I want to talk about is the fact that there is no financial transparency. If you're in a relationship and there is no financial transparency, that is a big red flag. Money plays a very important role in all we do. You can never turn a blind eye. If you do today, it will haunt you tomorrow. So say, okay, I don't want to be fussy. I don't want him or her to think that I'm all about their money and all of that. Fine, it's good. But if you don't have this conversation today, and that relationship becomes a marital relationship, these conversations will come up later. And it might not end very well, because one of the reasons why we have divorce on the increase has to do with finances. I've heard people say it over and over again that I'm leaving because it's all about money. I'm leaving because either I can't take care of me or I don't know what she earns. Always around money most of the time, amongst other things. But money plays a major role when it has to do with this thing. So we shouldn't just sweep this conversation under the carpet. And you that is listening today on the program, I would really want, like I said earlier, for you to engage, especially those that are going to be calling in. You should tell us your experience when the phone line is open. And maybe you might want to even add to some red flags just so that we become informed. Okay, so I have said number one that I want to talk about is the issue of no transparency when it has to do with money matters. Some persons hide their monies. That is, you can't see it. You in your dreams, you can't see it. They are so good at this thing that their partner never gets to know what is coming into their hand. Even when they have monies from the side, aside their regular income, their spouses would never know. I've heard some, especially the male folk, I've heard them say sometimes that the reason why they do this is because if the woman knows exactly what they are earning, the woman will not stop asking for it until it's all gone. But that notwithstanding, I think it's a big red flag if you're in a relationship where you can't be transparent, you can't be open with your partner to say, okay, I have 100,000 naira that came in from this, or I have 10,000 naira that came in from there. Sometimes it's not about I don't think it's about the fact that the person is going to, ask for it. I think there's a deeper reason, but it is a red flag. It is a sign that there's going to be problem in the future. Because today you can turn a blind eye and say that it doesn't matter, but a time will come. A time will come. Oh boy, a time will come. You will say, no, I am no more satisfied with the status quo. Things have to change. How can I not know? How can I not have access? Those questions will begin to play in your mind. Aside that, you just might not know if your partner is in debt. And whatever affects your partner will affect you, especially given a situation where you are married. For instance, if your husband is in debt and you don't know about it, and it's so bad that maybe they come to take the house, it has affected you. So one way or the other is going to affect you. And that's why it's very important for people to be open in their relationships about their financial position, their financial status. So that's one red flag. If you're cutting someone, if you're dating someone and the person is not being transparent about finances, you want to talk about finances and the person is being elusive, I think it's not what going further with. Is That's my opinion. Though you might want to say it doesn't matter, but I tell you that a day will come and it will matter. Okay, that's about one red flag. I want you to take note of these things because, like I said, I really would have for you and love for you to engage with me on this topic so that we all learn from there. So take notes of what I am saying, and when you begin to engage, you go right on to, improve on what I've said or give us fresh insights to this topic we are discussing today. All right. So, number one, no financial transparency. Then the second red flag I want us to look at today is the fact that only one person is shouldering the responsibilities. Now, we women were very good when it comes to this. We're experts in this matter. I used to have one saying, actually, just to buttress this point that I'm trying to make. I used to have a saying that my man's money is sweeter than my own. That was a very long time ago. I used to say that. And I've changed a bit, but I think it's still there somewhere there. I think it's still there. So I used to say that my man's money is sweeter. There's this, but yours truly, there is this joy that comes when a woman, talking from a woman's perspective, when a woman is being cared for by her husband. There is this joy that comes. But that's notwithstanding, only the man should not be shouldering the responsibilities. Yes, the Bible has said that the woman is just a helper to the man. So the woman should be seen as doing something, no matter how little, as they would say, bring something to the table. So what are you bringing to the table? Now that's for the woman. It's sad. It's sad, very, very sad today to find out that is no more just the women folk. Some men now like, or is it love? I don't know, to go after women that will foot all their bills. A friend of mine told me some years ago how that she got into a vehicle, public transport, and while she was in transit, there were two young guys in that same vehicle, and they were having this conversation. And what was it? They said that they were looking for a woman, sugar mommy, so to speak, that would foot their bills, as in they wanted to date someone that would take up the responsibility of footing all their bills. So this is a red flag. If you're in a relationship and all the person does is lets you pay the bills, whereas you don't know where their money goes or what's happening with them financially, then I think it's a good thing to run away. Seriously, I will advise you run away. If you are my child, that's what I'll tell you, run away. Because you see, this money matter is a very serious matter. This money matter, it's too serious to say, no, I look the other way. A day will come, you'll be frustrated and it might just be too late. So that's another red flag. Only one person will pay the rent. Only one person will pay the bills around the house, groceries. Only one person, the children's school fees. Only one person. Everything done by only this person. I'll talk about another story that this one is a very popular story, but this one I heard from someone close to home. So I know it's not just one of those stories that are fiction. This friend of mine told me some time ago how that her brother's wife would, in the event that she's cooking, for instance, and she finds out that one thing like as little as salt or maybe seasoning cubes are not there, that this lady will bring the pots off the cooker, off the stove, and wait for the husband to return so as to buy that salt or seasoning cube. Is that bad? She wouldn't spend her money for anything whatsoever. It's both ways. So men are there. I know of another friend, very recently, the friend told me that she and her husband will go into a supermarket and then the man will go picking things and come to her without discussing with her, sweetheart, pay for it. And she was having it up to her neck at that period with that attitude. Okay, so you see that it's both ways, though we might want to argue that it's more with the women folk. But that's a red flag. You might want to be careful. You might want to reconsider your decisions if you're in such a relationship, especially now. I'm not saying if you have married and gone into that kind of relationship, now you should divorce. No, but it's more for those that are yet to make that choice and they are seeing these red flags so that they would know what to do. But for those that are already married and you are seeing these things, God will give you wisdom. God will give you wisdom. Then another red flag I want to talk about today is living a fake life. Fake life. You know, some persons want to appear rich, whereas they are not rich at all. So they have the best of clothes, designer clothes. In fact, they will tell you that I only wear labels that, not any kwekwe one say for that matter. I only wear clothes with names. They will tell you they only use certain kind of things that scream of class, else it's a no-no for them. Whereas they have nothing. in their bank accounts. They have no assets, they have nothing whatsoever. That's a red flag. You find that such persons will not even mind to borrow just to impress. And that's a very dangerous place to be. They want to spend to belong. Reminds me of a movie I watched a very long time ago, and many times we learn from these movies because it's actually uh, people's stories sometimes that are used to act these movies. There's this very girl. She was from a very poor background, and then she came to the city. She wanted a good life, and so she started mingling with those that were rich. And instead of just keeping herself at her level, she wanted to show them that she was even more than they were. So she when she visits, that she doesn't use any and anyhow soap. As at then it was Clinique. So I only use Clinique until eventually the truth came out, and her friends were disappointed in her to find that her parents were poor folks in the village. They had nothing at all. She even denied her parents at the time simply because they were an embarrassment to her. So it's a dangerous place to be when you are in such a relationship that the person is willing to do anything just to impress others, whereas the person has a zero net worth. It's a very dangerous place to be. Fake wealth to feel important. They want to exhibit fake wealth to be important. Like I've said, is a very dangerous place to be. If your relationship is built on packaging, it will collapse under pressure. That's the truth. It will collapse under pressure. You can't build anything on nothing. So be careful. Real wealth is quiet. I read a book, The Millionaire Next Door. Very fantastic book. And in reading that book, I discovered something. That was the early days of my starts on this journey in acquiring knowledge concerning finances. I read that book and I discovered something. According to the author, he said that millionaires, in summary, millionaires actually are not all flashy many times. And I come to agree with that. It says that they are just like the ordinary people you see next door. You see them living the ordinary life most times. You see them, their houses are not all too flashy. You see them, they are not even using the best of cars many times. But if you check out their net worth, you'll be amazed. And that's the truth. Most cases, a lot of persons you see living life low key, if they tell you what they are worth financially, you will be shocked. So we should know that real wealth doesn't make so much noise. Real lasting wealth doesn't have to be flashy. Most of the times, it's very quiet. Okay? It's fake wealth that's loud. Fake wealth is what, because there is actually real wealth and there is fake wealth. Fake wealth is what is loud. So let's not forget that. Okay, I will soon be calling out the phone number. And when I do call out the phone number, you're welcome to call into the program. And remember, as always, that you would have to reduce the volume of your radio for starters, so we don't have holdbacks. And then you go on to tell us your name, tell us where you are calling from, and then if it's a question you have, go on to ask the question. Else, if you want to make a contribution, go on and then do just that. Okay, I will give another red flag before I open the phone line. And this one is having no financial vision. Having no financial vision. For the longest time, man, that was my story. In fact, I didn't have anything. I didn't have vision in any area of life for the longest time. I didn't. And a lot of persons are like that, even up till now, just floating through life. No vision for their lives, no vision concerning their finances. It's a red flag. If you meet somebody today and the person does not have a financial vision, we are tying this to finances because this is the program, all about money. If you meet somebody, you're with somebody, and the person does not have a financial vision, it's not a good thing. You will suffer in that relationship. You will suffer. If the person does not have savings, if the person does not have investments, if the person does not have long-term financial goals, run away. Run for your life. Else, and for us in Nigeria, we understand this one. You will drink Gary for a very long time. Now, don't misunderstand me again. I know that there is a place for starting with nothing and growing together to become something. And that's where the vision comes about. When I'm talking about having a vision, you don't have it all together yet. But you know that, okay, in 2 years' time, concerning finances, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to achieve. These are the assets I'm working towards acquiring. I want to buy lands in this area. In the next 10 years, I want to be worth so amount of money. If you ask your spouse or your partner, as the case may be, what is your financial vision? In 5 years, where do you want to be at financially? And the person tells you no. If the person is teachable, fine. Please begin to teach this person and you can work these things out together. Otherwise, it's going to be problematic. It is. It's going to be a problem. So ensure that person has a financial vision, or else is a serious red flag and it is a pointer that you don't want to go there at all. For a relationship to be strong, it must have financial direction. That's the truth of it. Okay, at this point, I will call out the phone number. And then you will call into the program like I have promised. And you tell us your name. Tell us where you are calling from. And then you ask your question or make your contribution around the topic, financial red flags in relationships. The number to call is 0803. Okay? 0803. I'm thinking I should wait a bit before I call this number out. Let me take the next red flag to look out for, so that, but I've been accused again and again. I've been accused again and again how that I have not called out the phone number early enough. All right. Let's do this. All right, let's take the calls now. We'll take our calls as they come in. All right. They The moment the calls start coming in, we'll take the calls and then we'll go on with the program. Let's take this call. Let's take this call. I see calls trying to come in for those that have been with us before now. Okay. Hello. Yes, good afternoon. Go on, please.
Yes, my name is Stanley Madu. I'm calling you from Ghana.
Stanley Madu.
Mangi.
Mangi.
Yeah.
Okay, Mangi, go on, please.
Yes, I don't have anything to say now, but today you could drop my number and we have a program, so I want you to be part of the program. So I need your number to contact. Because I'm calling you now.
Oh, wow. All right. I usually would give my number at the end of the program, my personal number, but I'm somewhat weary about doing it. But maybe I should just give it to you today. Okay, if you're still listening, take it down 0803 750 4852. I'll take it again 0803 750